Once upon a time, there was a great grey storm cloud in the sky. It was such an angry cloud. Wherever it went, it brought storms. Tucked away in one part of that grey storm cloud was a tiny white corner, so small that you could hardly see it. More than anything else in the sky, he wanted to be a real cloud, by himself. But he didn't know how to pull away from that great grey cloud, though he tried, and he tried, and he tried. One evening, the storm cloud settled itself over Wellington city. The sky grew darker and darker. The wind from the south blew harder and harder. Doors banged. Windows rattled. Thunder rumbled around the hills. The great grey storm cloud was getting itself ready to rain harder than it had ever rained before. The people who lived in the city looked up at the sky and saw the grey and angry cloud there. They knew that a storm was coming, and they hurried to their homes as quickly as they could. Then the rain from the storm cloud began to fall, slowly at first, splashing onto the street like shining pennies. Faster and faster, harder and harder came the rain. It crashed down on the rooftops. It flooded the roads and the rivers. The airport was closed. Ships couldn't leave the harbor wharves. Seagulls crowded together in a city park. For 3 days and 2 nights, the rain and hail and wind beat down on the harbor and city. On the 3rd morning, when the people of the city woke up, it was very quiet. There was no wind. There was no rain or hail. That great grey storm cloud had rolled away in the night, taking rain away with it. The early morning sun peeped over the eastern hills and smiled at what it saw. For there, in the middle of that clear blue sky, a new baby cloud had been born. He was fluffy. He was white. He was free. He was the small corner of that great grey storm cloud, and he had broken away and become a cloud by himself at last. The fat cheeks of the baby cloud nearly burst with smiles. First of all, he had to learn how to be a cloud, especially when the wind chased him about in the sky. High over the harbour hills, low over the islands, around the beaches and the bays, he swirled and he swooped, he curled and he looped. One minute he was long and curvy like a banana. Then he was round and rosy like a pear. Then whirly and white like a double-decker ice cream. All through that long, sunny day, the happy little cloud played about in the sky. At 7 o'clock, when the sun was getting ready to go down over the hill, the baby cloud felt quite tired. He felt different, too. He peeped down at himself. And what do you think was happening? He wasn't a white cloud anymore. He was turning such beautiful colors. First, yellow, then orange, then pink, then rosy red. The little cloud was part of a sunset, and he felt very proud. Many of the people who lived in the city came running out of their houses to see how pretty he looked. Later, when the lights began to twinkle around the harbor, the baby cloud turned purple. He gave a tired and happy yawn. Oh, and tucked himself between two wireless masts on top of a hill. There, he slept for the night. The next morning, the happy little cloud woke up early. He could feel the wind pulling and pushing, pulling and pushing, wanting to have a game. But the little cloud knew that he couldn't play all the time. He had very important work to do. He needed to learn how to rain. But whoosh! A strong wind pulled the little cloud from the hilltop and blew him right across the sky. Soon the city was left far behind. On and on and on went the little cloud, while the wind chased along behind him, following long rivers, high over fields and farms, over trees and towns, across mountains topped with bright white snow. At last, the wind stopped blowing. It was very calm and peaceful, and the happy little cloud could feel the sunshine warming his fluffy cheeks. He looked down below him, and he could see the biggest lake in New Zealand, Taupo. So the little cloud floated gently down to have a closer look. All around the edges of the lake, there were holiday homes, tents, and caravans. There were people everywhere, fishing and boating, boys and girls swimming and playing on the beaches. But when the little cloud floated closer, he could see that the grass at the edge of the lake was yellow and dried up. The flowers in the gardens were hanging their heads, and the water tanks of the houses were nearly empty. Oh, thought the little cloud. Oh, I'm tired of playing now. I want to learn how to rain, and then I'll be a real cloud. But I don't know how to rain. Oh, dear. Suddenly, he found that he wasn't a happy little cloud anymore. He felt quite sad. He felt different, too. He looked down at himself. Oh, and what do you think was happening? The little cloud was slowly turning grey. 2 big tears were running down his fluffy cheeks. The tears came faster and faster. The little cloud was raining at last. He was raining on the grass and on the flowers and into the water tanks. He was raining and raining and raining. When he could see that the land around the lake had had enough rain, the little cloud felt happy again. And as soon as he felt happy, he turned white again. As soon as he turned white again, he stopped raining. The happy little cloud was so excited. He saw an aeroplane and chased it right across the sky for miles and miles and miles. When the aeroplane looped the loop, the little cloud did too. He was having such fun. But he forgot to look where he was going and plop! The happy little cloud landed right on top of a mountain called Taranaki. He didn't hurt himself because he was such a soft and fluffy cloud. He just stayed there for a while to rest. All the people who saw the little cloud sitting on the mountaintop wondered why he was smiling and why he blushed pink for 3 whole minutes. But you know, don't you, why he was feeling so happy and proud? You know that the happy little cloud with the fluffy cheeks had learned how to rain. He had become a real cloud at last.